hate playing with this phone. Good morning, guys and gals, and welcome to the what the hell is today? The 23rd of why does this thing keep stopping? Oh well, it's acting up again. YouTube keeps stopping. Sorry about that, y'all. Good morning, Jan. Good morning, Tony. Um, I don't know what's going on with this thing today. It was working good earlier. I just tried to start the stream three times and it keeps saying YouTube is not responding. So, yeah, no clue what the hell is going on. Let's see if we can actually get me somewhat centered here. Oh, October is drawing closer and closer. I'll tell you all what, I'm still not bloody centered in this thing. I doggone it. Well, the phone won't turn, so we'll turn the whole bloody pedestal. It is mushed up already. As some of you, or as you guys may know, um, just the other day was the full moon for the month of September, and it was messed up. I don't know what it was like, in Illinois and Ohio, but here it was foggy. It was eerie. I couldn't walk to work that I didn't feel like I was being watched. Um, and that just really, really boogered me up because normally my walk to work is um, pretty cool. But the whole week has been messed up. I was walking to work Wednesday morning last week, and hey Blake, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I was walking to work, and they've been doing a lot of construction. I was walking in to work at 3:30 and got up where the construction was, and they had that road closed to through traffic. They kept moving it. They'd move it back 8 or 10 feet away from the crosswalk, then they'd move it right up to the edge of the crosswalk. And of course, with the lights back behind it. Hey, me, not you. Good to see you, bud. Um, but I was walking in, and the street lights are casting, big long shadows of these signs. You can't see what the hell's going on. And I uh, I was walking across the crosswalk, and I mean, straight line across the crosswalk. All of a sudden, I tripped, and I started stumbling forward. And it's like, okay, I'm either going to fall face first into this brand new sidewalk, or I'm going to do my best to save my head and my face. And I rolled. I tucked my head down, and I rolled, and I smacked the back of my head and the top of my shoulder on the sidewalk, and his shoulder is still messed up. I went to the hospital, got X-rays and stuff done, and it was eating cats in Ohio during the full moon. Oh well, that's something, I guess. I mean, How old am I? I'm 55. Um, J Stilt. J Stilt 9. I am 55. Welcome to the stream, by the way. It's good to see new faces in here on occasion. But yeah, that was the beginning of the week. The wife got home from work Wednesday evening. The shoulder was all swollen up. You guys seen the difference in the uh, the sizes of the shoulders, and what doesn't matter how old he is. It's all right, Jan. I'm not worried about it. Um, a lot of people think I'm younger than what I really am. Some people think I'm older than what I really am. I think I'm doing pretty good, after excess strain on my heart, dying twice, diabetes, falling 2.5 stories off a barn roof. I think I'm doing pretty good. Good morning, Cheyenne. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, oh yeah, people can trip at any age. It's But anyway, the wife took me to the hospital and they X-rayed it. Said that there were no breaks or anything. It was probably just muscular damage. And they said, they asked me, how I felt, and I told them, this part is what hit the concrete and broke my sunglasses, my favorite sunglasses the wife bought me. Um, but yeah, and then of course, just the normal week. 3 days ago, I got approached. The wife and I were down here, stopped by the gas station to get gas in her car to get back and forth to work until I get paid on Thursday, because she don't get paid again till Monday. And they approached me down there at the gas station, the owners, and informed me that they didn't even know that I got fired from the bar, um, and they wanted me to come back. And I basically told them, I'd be more than happy to come back and run it as a second job, because I get off work at the brewery from doing all the dough for that business day and, the next day. And they they told me they wanted me to come back to work, and I'm like, I would do that. Hey, David, good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Uh, I would do it as a second job because I get off work about 10:30 at the brewery, and the bar opens up at 11. Uh, but yeah, they were talking about how the customers are complaining because I'm not there anymore. The customers like me, stuff like that. So I figured, the hell with it. They're not direct competition with each other. One of them's a higher class artisanal brewery and restaurant, and the other is a bar. So, um, hello, Silly Willie. Good to see you. Now be careful, Drew. You're getting to that age that hips break during falls. Yeah, believe me, I know. I know. I was more worried about my face hitting that brand new 2-year-old block sidewalk they just put in up here when they started rejuvenating the town. And Yeah, I didn't want my blood on the sidewalk or my face uh, skin on there. So I figured it was easier just to tuck and roll. And I was already stumbling at that point. So yeah, it was a little messed up. But Okie, good morning. Things are more like they are now than they used to be. Very true, DL. Very true. But other than that, great week. Great week. Of course, today's still the only day off, and even if I take the second job, I'm going to keep it like that, where I've got my Mondays. Um, Monday's going. Oh, and by the way, bear with me, y'all. I am on my last pack of cigars, and I don't get paid till Thursday. So bear with me. Bear with me. What little bit of extra money, or change, I should say, that I had in my cup has been going to get the wife cigarettes because she is a bear when she's without her nicotine. So, oh, things are more like they are now than they used to be. How is that true? But I hope you guys had a good week and a good weekend. I know it's been a week since we all had a chance to talk together. Um, Looking forward to getting some stuff done. It is getting real close here. We got 7 days left in the month of September, and I'm going to start digging out and making the new Halloween decorations. Of course, the granddaughter will be going trick or treating this year for her first time. Felix will be walking with her, basically showing her the ropes on how to trick or treat. They're going to um, base their um costumes off of each other. So I'm going to be staying at home and handing out Halloween candy for the first time. Grandma used to do it when she was still alive on occasion till the dementia and everything got the best of her. So I'll be handing out Halloween candy dressed up as the Grim Reaper. I've got a lot of things I'm going to make um, for the front yard. And what do we got here? Adventures and gardening. Hi guys, I'm new here to this channel. How's everyone doing this morning? Good morning, adventures. Peachy cool. Peachy cool. Can't beat it. It's going to be reasonably cool today here in southwest Michigan. The sun's still not up. It's cloudy. Looks like it could possibly rain. So I'm not going to be doing anything outside, that's for sure. Good morning, Ty. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Oh, but yeah, the only thing I guess that I could say negative about this week is I'm still not sleeping, and we can't figure out why. I'll go to bed, 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock. The other night I went to bed at a quarter till 10. I woke up at 11:30 and I was ready to start my day until I looked at my phone and realized it wasn't even midnight yet. Last night I lost track of how many. I went to bed at 10 o'clock. Uh, Lost track of how many times I woke up until I finally woke up and I felt like, my God, man, finally it's like 5 a.m. You know, went and used the bathroom, grabbed my phone, my cigarettes or my cigars, Came in here and started working, got my coffee pot going, got my first cup of coffee poured, took a sip of it, hit the computer where it lit up, and I realized it was 1:47. So I've been sitting in here already for almost 7 hours, and I'm still not tired. I can't figure this out. I'm going on three hours of sleep a night if I'm lucky, and just can't figure out why. So, uh, good morning to all the newbies in the stream. I'm surprised if I go to sleep before 4 a.m. I think I've got a shin splint, but the bank robbery skit, Calamity Jane Days was a hit. Oh, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. Hope you had a hell of a crowd, man. You've been doing a lot of work and a lot of planning, grooming that there mustache and stuff. You do a damn good Hickok, that's for sure. Sorry to hear that, Ty. But glad it went well. But good it went well. That it went well. What makes you think you got a shin splint, bud? Uh, you know, only time I think I ever had shin splints was when I was in basic training. You know, wearing combat boots for the first time, doing so much marching and field work that's the only time I think I've ever had shin splints. Man, I wish I could figure out this bloody phone and why it's acting up like it is. Brenna was even in the skit. That's pretty cool. Sorry, catching up here, guys, making sure I haven't missed anything. David says, I'm surprised if I go to sleep before 4 a.m. Back when I didn't work, that was a regular for me. I was definitely um, I was definitely a night owl. A lot of times I wouldn't go to sleep before I started seeing light in the eastern sky, and I would sleep from up until 11:30, 12 o'clock. Get up and take care of all my business for the day. Um, because well, I was taking care of grandma, so she very seldom ever got up before 11 or 12, and I tried to keep her schedule. And then in the evening time, I would spend time with the wife and daughter, and then when they went to sleep, I'd watch what I like to watch because the wife and I don't like the same kind of TV shows or same kind of movies. So, but since I started working, yeah, I'm always, especially getting up as early as I do on Wednesdays. I go in at 4. Um, Thursday through Sunday, I go in at 6, and then Mondays, of course, I'm off. And so I've started making sure that I was getting enough sleep. And for some reason here lately, I'm just not sleeping, and I can't figure it out. I know it's starting to weigh on me though. I feel like I got a ton of bricks on my shoulders right now, sleeping like I have been. It just really, well, there's my little angelfish right there. Well, get over here.
Well, I can't get over there.
You can get your.
No, come on.
I even moved the coffee pot back.
All right.
Have a good day.
Yeah.
Or at least try to.
Yeah, it should be alright. It's Monday. I mean,
Well, Mondays, I mean, what can happen?
Monday, Friday.
Yeah, Monday, Friday.
Love you.
Love you. Oh, yeah, I just don't understand why you're not the only one with phone problems. We got totally lost in Springfield, Massachusetts yesterday because the GPS kept giving our driver crazy directions. Wow. Um, yeah, I've given up on mine. Um, hell, the wife messaged me, what was it, yesterday? I got home here before noon, and she messaged me at 11:35 when she went on break, and the message came in and time coded at uh, 2:53, and I messaged her right then and there, and I said, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing on break? It's almost 3 o'clock. You only got 2 hours of work left." And she messaged me back probably 40 minutes later and said, "I sent that message before noon." And then the other the other day, and this will freak you out. This is completely foobarred. She got home from work. We were standing in the kitchen talking. Her phone was in her purse still. She had literally just walked in the door. And my phone started ringing and said it was her. And it rang like 3 times. And her and I were both looking at the screen. And I hit the answer. And it went dead. So she looked at her phone, picked her phone up, turned it on, looked at her recent calls. She says, "I didn't call you. It doesn't even show a registered call on here." And then I hit call back and it called her phone. So, yeah, it's, huh. More than once, every road was marked as a route to get there. Then it got you stuck in traffic for over 2 hours. Oh my God, David. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with technology. I think I'm getting a little sick of technology. It's supposed to be making our lives easier, but I'm beginning to think that it just completely um, foo bars everything. It's just so messed up. But I'm glad that you got to your destination finally. Uh, wow, finally. Oh, I will be uploading video. Actually, I got some welcome news this past week. Seems that this coming mortgage payment is the last one. Congratulations, Tony. That is very welcome news. I can't wait till um, we find out that this last 600 and almost $700 payment that we're making now is the last one. Of course, I will probably be seeing as how there's like $33,000 left to pay on this place, and like 20% of that goes to the principal. I'll probably be in the old folks' home by that time, and not care. The wife will, the wife will say, "Hey, our last payment on the house is coming up," and I'll say, "Yay!" And then I'll poop on myself. We never got there. Oh my God. We started running low on gas. Spent about an hour looking for a gas station that would accept our gas card. Wow. Yeah, that is 642 extra dollars a monthly in the monthly kitty. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but it still winds up being cheaper in the long run buying a house than renting. When I lived in Indianapolis years ago, my little apartment was 500 and what did it figure out to? Was it $5,072 a month or a year? So you figure in 20 years, you actually wind up paying more for an apartment than you do for a house. Oh, well, more likely like 400 because I gotta put aside taxes, insurance. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't forget about Uncle Sam, and well, you can't forget about protecting your already existing assets. It was a 57-mile ride just to get to Springfield from Hamden, Connecticut. Wow. You know, I've never been to Connecticut, and I've always wanted to go, especially in the fall. It's just one of those states that you see on TV or in movies, and you look at the miles and miles of wooded travel and stuff, and all the oranges and reds and greens and yellows, and that's just some place I've always wanted to go. It will open funds for the cabin. Yeah, and you said you were wanting to get moved into the cabin, after you got your house paid off and the wife retired. So here's one thing out of the way. Uncle Sam's a deadbeat, always asking for money. Yeah, it's kind of like a child or a relative, you know, always coming at you with that palm up. There's a lot of old cemeteries up here in Connecticut that date back early to mid 1600s. And that's another reason. Sorry guys, since that fall last Wednesday, my eyes have been giving me a lot more trouble. Um, hey Squatch. Well, believe me, going vertical was not in the plan last week. If you go back and look at the video, I was actually horizontal. And I set this stream up the exact same way and went to start the stream, and my picture was sideways. So I don't know what's it, but I also had problem with YouTube stopping responding and stuff like that. So God only knows what the hell's going on. It's aliens. They're getting into our technology. They're messing with our telephone signals and stuff. Um, God only knows. There's a really upset Mothman somewhere sitting on a Verizon tower or something. Oh, I don't know what the hell it is. God only knows. Uh, but yeah, that's one of the reasons that I would like to go out east. Is colonization started out east. So a lot of your older cemeteries, a lot of your older legends, things like that, I'm going to find out on the eastern seaboard or the eastern states more so than I'm going to find it here in the Midwest or going west. Um, since you don't share vids, or screens, it works much better for more views. Yeah, I haven't tried that yet. I haven't tried sharing uh, streams and stuff. Here real soon as things, start to regulate a little bit, I'm going to go back to StreamYard, um, and sharing streams that way. But man, I don't know. I blame Sunspots. That works for me too. I mean, it's more wildly accepted than a Mothman setting up a nest on a tower, or a hidden alien signal, or whatever. But yeah, definitely. Which I'm gonna get a little closer. Of course, I'll be down. For those of you that didn't know, I think the second or third week of November, we're going to be going hitting East Central Tennessee. So right in between Nashville and Chattanooga, and we'll be visiting the parents for a week before we leave, doing family Thanksgiving, so mom and dad don't have to travel all the way up here to do it. But we're trying to make a list of places that we want to take the girls, because they've never seen the mountains, they've never seen waterfalls. So we're going to spend a lot of time in southeastern Tennessee and eastern Tennessee, letting them see things they've never seen, and in the process, of course, doing investigations or hitting some of the Civil War troop movement trails that go through the county and stuff like that. So, thinking about doing a vertical podcast that will showcase some of our music and other things. That's a good idea, David. That really is. Um, I think people would really enjoy watching you guys in the studio recording, or editing your music videos and stuff. I would enjoy watching it. Have a good day. I'll be driving. All right, Squatch, you just take care of yourself, and have a good day. Be careful out there on the road. We all know what kind of idiots are out there. So, Tunnel Hill has a Civil War tunnel. Oh, yeah? Very cool. I actually did not know that. I'll have to check into that one. I know I'm going to take the metal detector with me. I'm going to take all my ghost hunting gear. Um, and before we go down, I'm actually going to advertise um, between Crossville, Tennessee and Pikeville, Tennessee. And, let them know that uh, Native Son is coming home and is looking for possible paranormal sites to investigate while he's there. So my mom will get into it. She'll enjoy going and checking stuff out. So it's going to be a lot of fun, going back home again and seeing folks and stuff, the ones that are still around anyway. It's just outside Chattanooga. Okay. Yeah, Chattanooga's about an hour and a half, I think. Not quite an hour and a half south of Mom and Pop. So, south by southeast. But very good possibility. I'm going to try to hook up with Jared King, um, and Laura while we're down there. Um, I've already texted him, and we've decided that I've got to let him know when we're heading down so they can make sure their schedule's clear. Because they only live like a few miles, I think, northeast of Mom and Pop. So, Oh, let me see here. Let me see here. Hey, Ian, good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well today. I also think there's a Civil War thing going on in November. Also, Jared and Laura, cool. I've known them for a while now. On my old channel, David, before you and I met, um, I actually had interviewed him. I used to do Friday night um, live stream interviews, and I've had Jared and Laura on the channel before, um, but we've never met in person. We've known each other probably, oh God, 4 years, 5 years, 4.5 years, something like that, and never had a chance to meet up. So I'm taking advantage of being so close to him. Um, remember when they started? They were doing this when I started. But let me see here. We've been doing this right here since right the year before the pandemic, and then I had my other channel 2.5 years. So I've been doing this now for between the two channels for God 6.5 years, almost 7 years. God, time flies. But yeah, definitely cool people, and can't wait to very possibly do some Appalachia um, theme stuff with him. Maybe possibly doing an investigation somewhere. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Silverbrook Cemetery Tour, October 12th. Ian, I'm going to tell you, I am a full supporter of Silverbrook. Um, but I have come to find that the more people that you take onto a site like Silverbrook, the less interaction you get. Things get way too confusing, they get too muttered, they get too cloudy, and much like as we've seen with our group investigations with Ghostorama, or the Ghostoramas, when you have one team that's, two or three people, four people, you get a lot of responses at these locations. But when you take 20 or 30 people into these locations, you don't get a quarter of the interaction that you do with a smaller team. So, though I'm a big supporter of Silverbrook, I'm not a big supporter of huge group investigations. Uh, if we ever hosted a group investigation, I think I would probably limit it to 15 or 20 people, but I would split it into two groups and put several yards, like 50 or 60 yards in between them, so you're not walking on each other. You're not um, got questions coming from every direction, things like that. I love the old Appalachian music and culture. Oh my God, I do too. I do too. I'm all the time listening to old banjo music and bluegrass and the culture from down there. Um, that's something that keeps making me want to go back home. Talk the old folks down in the hollers, um, just sitting and chatting with them, listening to some of their folk tales and things like that. Just makes me homesick just thinking about it. Oh, of course, as you guys can see, I'm coffeeed out. Said I've been drinking coffee for almost 7 hours. It's time to switch over to something else. And this is Chestnut Hill Tropical Orange Water. To be honest, Drew, that's why I separated from the group last year. I got more on my own. Yep, I love bluegrass. Those musicians are amazing the way they play and how they can play and change out a broken string while still playing. Years ago, I used to do a historic encampment at a park just directly west of Marion, Indiana. I believe it was in Strawtown, Indiana. Real tiny little town, but that's where they held the county fair at every year. And one of the features at the county fair, usually on Saturday evening, was a bluegrass show, and there weren't nothing like all of us guys in our um, early 1800s outfits, sitting there in the crowd watching. Sometimes they'd have 10 or 14 bands play on a Saturday night, and it would start usually about 5 o'clock in the evening, and sometimes didn't end till about 1 o'clock in the morning. And that was the guys loved it. Which some of our older guys that did the encampments had their own little bluegrass band. So a lot of times they just sit in camp and played guitar and banjo and the juice harp, and it that's probably where I got my love for bluegrass. But yeah, you're right. The way they can snap a string and just keep their little thing going while they're sitting up here, loosening the string, letting it fall out, flick it out with their pinky finger, reach in their pocket, find the right string, just keep right on it going. Let's try and pull it right up, slide it through, bend it over, and twist. We thought we were in the clear this month, y'all. House payment and everything didn't set us back or do any you know anything with the finances. And then the car payment and the car insurance both came out of the last check and limited us to what we had to do our group. Which, I mean, we also, because our store, our only local store, had the buy two get three free special, we were able to, get some meat in the freezer and stuff like that. But then the car payment and car insurance came out. So you're talking $500 between the two of those. So now here we are, a week and 3 quarters later. The wife's running out of cigarettes. I've got one cigar left, and 3 days, 4 days until I get paid, and 7 days till she gets paid. So we thought we had it. We thought we had it. Nipped us in the bud again. That's why I'm thinking about taking that second job and going back to the bar, because that'll just be another 4 or 5 hours worth of pay a day, unless they meet my demands and make me management, and then I won't have to worry about it. Let me do all the food ordering and stuff like that. Um, it'll be more hours. I started out playing old country and bluegrass songs when I was a kid on rhythm guitar. I knew you were talented. I could tell that by listening to your songs that you guys come out with now. But I would have never thought that you played bluegrass. I don't know why I would have never thought that. Um, no clue. I but I yeah I absolutely love bluegrass. Now country I could see, but then again, y'all have come up with some really cool, um, really cool songs and stuff. I mean, you've gone from classic rock to R&B to a little bit more of a country twang on some things. Um, I can see that range when you guys are playing your music. First complete song I learned on the guitar was Wildwood Flower. The rhythm style is heavily influenced by bluegrass. Wildwood Flower. Don't think I'm familiar with that song. But then again, I'm a drummer. Have been a drummer since I was, 11, 12 years old. So 43 years I've been a drummer. So yeah, I have no clue about certain songs. My God, we haven't even been at this hour yet. I just realized it's only 10 to 8. Wildwood Flower is one of those quintessential bluegrass songs. Maybe I've heard it because I listen to a lot of bluegrass when I'm sitting here working on a video or something like that. I'll listen to bluegrass, and I don't always know what songs are coming up. Um, if it's not an individualized playlist, it's just a group of songs um, on one specific lengthy video. I don't always know or look up to the screen. A lot of times I let the screen go into rest mode, but the music's still playing. So I don't see the title of the song if they have titles on there. So I'll have to look that up. Yeah, I'm really hoping, Jan, that when we're on our return trip from mom and dad's, we'll get a chance to stop by and see you and Jay. Um, maybe not. It just depends on this Tennessee tour that mom and dad are setting up and what time we leave there and everything. But I'm really hoping that we'll get a chance to see you guys um, before we come home. I know a lot of old songs from the 30s on up, maybe some older ones than that, including a few Flut and Scruggs. Wow. Was done by either the Carter family or Mother Mabel Carter. Huh. Yeah. Oh. Wildwood flower. Underline. Underline. I'll look that up when the stream's over with. See if I can find it somewhere. I'm sure it's on here. I'm sure there's some rendition of it. Oh man, I'm gonna. I don't know. We talked a little bit last week about me decorating the yard and handing out trick or treat candy and stuff like that. Y'all should see some of the things I'm going to come up with. I'm going to pull all my old costumes and stuff that I've made out of the closet. I'm going to turn them into mannequins. And yeah, I've got my zombie, I've got my werewolf, I've got all kinds of different things in there. I'm going to give me an excuse to get rid of some of the clothes that I've outgrown or that I've undergrown, I guess. And make mannequins out of this stuff, put them all over the yard. I've got um, one that I'm creating from scratch. I've got an old steamer trunk here, and we just threw out an old air mattress a few months ago, and I cut the air pump out of it. Of course, it's got a cord with it and everything. So I'm going to make some kind of a dark, shadowy, tarry looking demon coming up out of this steamer trunk and moving around with the blower going in there. We've got strobe lights and fog machines. I've got my ghosties I can hang up and going to do everything. Plus, we got the old decking wood out here. I might just make a old rickety fence with a cemetery in it just to scare some of these little boogers. See how many kids I can get to drop their candy. Because, well, I'm a former fat boy and I like candy, especially candy I don't got to pay for. I saw a video yesterday showing the graves of Johnny and June and both families. Wow. Hmm. A lot of people have covered Wildwood Saloon. Wow. Hmm. Wildwood Saloon. Now, the song that Tony was talking about earlier is called Wildwood Flower. Is is it the same song, just different names, or is this another one I should look for? Wildwood Saloon. I'm gonna try something here real quick because this is telling me that we're still in horizontal mode. So I'm gonna try this real quick. Orientation is locked. Rotate phone back. Come on, stick, you son of a. Oops, not sure about wildwood flowers. I'll have to look that one up. Wildwood flower. Okay. Yeah, that's what I wrote down was flower. Have a great day. Everyone head to work. Oh, goodness gracious. That's right. It is Monday. You have to go to work. You have yourself a good day, Jan. Take care of yourself, darling. And we'll catch you later. Don't don't put any of those little booger eaters in the chili mac. Makes it too distasteful, and they're oily, greasy. Well, it's saying we got 8 folks watching. We basically had communications here going on with 2. So I think a lot of people may have just turned on the stream and walked away. Oh, damn it. Worst things about these cigars come unwrapped too easy. Oh man. So what's up next for you, David? What are you guys working on now? That's a disturbing image. I bet it was. Good morning, Sarah. Was kind of wondering where you was hiding at. Man, we've got some good stuff coming up for the 31 days of Halloween too, y'all. Um, Let me look at my list here. Spin around here. Um, October 1st, we are going to start out with the Defiance Dogman, a story coming out of Defiance, Ohio, from back quite a few years ago. Uh, I found that to be a good jumping off point for the 31 days of Halloween. Um, I've of course thrown in some very very short horror films. Um, God, let me see here. The Bennington Triangle, the Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, Abraham Lincoln, A Tale of America's Mysterious History. And then, like I said, I've thrown in a couple little, or a few little short, um, non Hollywood horror films that you need to watch them in the dark. Let's just put it that way. We're just about done getting new equipment and camera harnesses and are getting ready to go out and do some paranormal investigations. Very cool. You know I'll be watching those. I like to stay on top of what my friends are doing and what our family on here does with paranormal investigations. It's getting to be that time of the year too. I'm really hoping we'll get a couple of them in um, during the month of October, especially right there around my birthday, and then maybe something right there around Halloween. That'd be kind of cool. I actually want to see what investigations are like as the veil starts to thin out between the worlds, and see if there's more activity and more interaction, and possibly a little more drama. You know me, I'm all about the drama. As long as they don't scratch on me anymore. I'm getting too old to get scratched on and physically attacked by stuff. A few years ago, it was fun and interesting. Now it's just painful and saddening. Oh, goodness gracious. Ho, 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 ho. Man, I'll be honest with y'all. I'm kind of running out of stuff to talk about. It's been a pretty uneventful week. Besides working on videos for the 31 days of Halloween, working at my job, and coming up with ideas on how to decorate the yard, I'm kind of running out of stuff, to be honest about it. Oh, I got some good stuff coming up, Sarah, for 31 days of Halloween. I've got some pretty good stuff. I mean, I sat here this morning and worked on one with the lights out, and just working on the video, and uh, it was a little eerie, little bit eerie. How are you going to decorate the yard? Oh, we have the old deck boards laying out here that come off the deck when stepson remodeled the deck last month. So I think I'm going to put up a little bit of a rickety fence out in the yard, put my little gravestones back up, um, have fun with a few different making mannequins out of my old costumes and stuff, and hooking up some lights, strobe lights, fog machines, and then of course me all dressed up as the Grim Reaper. I'm also going to add like a foot to my height. Um, so yeah, it'll put me just shy of 7 foot. Um, so I'm gonna have some fun with that. Mannequins creep me out. Well, especially zombies and werewolves and things like that. We're not too worried about the drama. We do our research, write papers on different aspects paranormal field, including what cameras are good and which ones aren't for investigating. That's very cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't like to draw the drama, but for some reason, it's like um, when we go to certain places, I don't want to say a physical contact is imminent, but it's a much higher chance that it's going to happen. So it just depends on where we go. If you go back through the 200 videos on my our investigations playlist, you'll find two or three of them in there where I wound up getting scratched or something. But it don't happen that often. I mean, you figure two or three times out of 180 investigations, that's pretty good odds. So I saw a scarecrow decoration that was normal dimensions, aside from being 15 to 18 feet tall. That was pretty creepy. I wouldn't mind doing a scarecrow, just a matter of, you know, getting it to sit upright. Let's just put it that way. Um, and having the stuff that's going to look spooky enough. But in the strobes, I guess anything will look spooky enough um, out there. Uh, it'll be, like I said, it'll be our the first time since Grandma's. Well, I don't think that she handed out trick or treat candy for the last 2 years she was alive. So it's been 4 years since we've handed out trick or treat candy, and I'm looking forward to it. Our neighbor, of course, I've mentioned this before. Our neighbor across the street to the north of us is an old school teacher and a big member of her church. So they set up tents out in her yard, and they do hot cocoa and hot cider and hot dogs and stuff like that. So we have a good crowd that comes through our neighborhood. So I'm hoping that I'm hoping we have a good crowd. My dad and my friend Danny have been in paranormal UFO fields for over 40 years, so they know a lot of things that most people haven't got a clue about. That's very cool. Now, Danny, is this the same Danny that does music with you? Okay, cool. It's I like doing the UFO thing. Um, I love doing the paranormal thing. I really like doing the UFO thing. But in recent years, they the sightings um, here in Michigan, sightings over Lake Michigan, they've really subsided quite a bit. I mean, there used to be 30 or 40 different reports on sightings um, a year, and now you're lucky to get 5 or 6. It's and the ones you do get are way up north. Uh, I don't know if you guys remember here several years ago. It must be probably 14 or 15 years ago. There was that sighting up near Great Lakes Naval Base, naval training facility, where um, there were a very very few sightings of unknown aerial phenomenon, and then all of a sudden, all of the power died at the entire facility for like a minute, and then fired right back up again. And no one has any clue why, because they've got their own individualized power source for the facility, as do most armed forces bases and training facilities. But used to be a lot of sightings up there and out around the Michigan Triangle. But even those have really subsided back. Um, Danny co-authors my research papers. Very cool. Now, see, I've actually considered um, sitting down and writing a book about being a paranormal investigator. And, paranormal investigations or whatever is still very popular. Um, I've been thinking about it. It's just a matter of having the time to do it. I mean, I've got the stories, but just having the time to do it, man. But that is very, very cool. I'm very glad you have somebody in your life like that that can help you, not only with your music, but with your other interests as well. It's good to have a friend like that. It's not that UFO sightings are rare, but UFOs have the ability to make themselves appear as satellites. Of course, that doesn't work with Danny. He can sense them. Very cool. Now, see, that's a lot like me out doing a paranormal investigation. I can, I can sense, I can feel. I don't know if it's a sense. I can feel when something is around because normally it's just myself and Mark. Maybe once in a while we'll have another somebody with us, but for the most part, it's just myself and Mark. And I can feel when something else is around. Um, so that's actually very cool that uh, he can sense the true identity of these things when they try to mask themselves as something else. I don't know if anybody else has this issue or not, but when I try to play my live streams back, the chat does not show up. So anybody who watches this stream after it's or when it is no longer live, if you would like to support the channel, our videos, our investigations, or just your happy host, check down in the description. There will be a link where you can support us and help us to keep moving forward and getting the things we need to keep going forward. Um, Most of the older UFOs have what we call starlights. They're really huge lights that look just like satellites at 10,000 feet. You have to wait for a day to get the chat. Oh, do you? Okay. I think YouTube puts a hold on chat to see, say, that kind of makes sense. But that's okay. You know you're allowed to speak your mind in here. As long as you don't get rude, crude, and socially unacceptable. You're allowed to speak your mind in here. Well, maybe if you weren't such a bad boy, then they wouldn't put a hold on it to see what you're going to say. You know, it's really funny, too, that you mentioned the starlights, David. I have, there's been many times, and it's something the wife and I are going to do down in Tennessee. Mom and Dad are right up on top of the Cumberland Plateau. And I've told the wife that when you, since the nearest neighbor is over a mile away and on the next ridge, back behind Mom and Dad's place, you can't see the house in the daytime, and all you can see is a pinprick of yard light um, at night. So it's total blackness out on their back deck, and I have laid out on that back deck in total darkness many times, and there are more stars than you could count in a year. Just, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of stars and um, arms for the Milky Way galaxy and things like that. So that's something that I have seen a lot of times, just laying out there in the total darkness, looking up at the sky, are what you would refer to as starlights, or um, we don't have very many satellites that move east to west or west to east. A lot of them move north to south, like the space station. Um, and I have seen a lot of steady lights moving east to west or west to east or northwest to southeast. Um, so yeah, I kind of understand what you're talking about with starlights. Um, I tend to be rather restrained for the most part here. Danny signaled to one once, and it dropped from 10,000 feet to treetop level in a split second. So he got really close look at the light. It even showed him how bright the light could get. Wow, very cool. It's a shame most folks are blinded from night sky by light pollution. Oh, that's the way it is here. I mean, even on our clearest night, um, you may see 100 stars on the clearest night. Um, but my God, down there, it's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of stars twinkling in the sky. It's absolutely the most amazing thing. The only thing I think that could actually beat it is just, I mean, completely being out, like in the desert or something, in the middle of nowhere, where there's 30 miles away to your nearest neighbor, or anything, any light source, any town, and examining the lights like that. Um, it was like old time flash bulb going off at his face. Wow, that is very cool. So if you experience a power outage at night, go look at the sky. Yeah, not that I'm saying that light is a pollution. It's just a term of, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really it's not it's not a pollution, but it does pollute the darkness, where you it inhibits your ability to see everything that's there. A moonless night is the best time to look at the stars, but it's too dark for my taste. I really kind of like knowing what's around me. I call it a military thing, call it growing up in the country, whatever, but I like to be as aware of my surroundings as I possibly can be. And yeah, a moonless night where your nearest light source is a mile, mile and a half, 5 miles, 10 miles, that can be a little eerie. Um, there are a few places along my walk to work that are totally dark. And your imagination plays with you. I have sat on the bench outside the brewery many mornings, and even though I have a street light at both corners, north and south of me, I will I will hear footsteps on the sidewalks. I will hear shuffling in the gravel parking lot. Um, Darkness likes to play. Shadows like to play with the mind. Um, I used to get creeped out running coon dogs under the moonless nights. Yeah, light pollution is a thing, but we used to live in suburban areas that had very few lights, so we could get a real clear view of the sky at night. That's very cool. Ever heard of a band called Bandmade? No. Never heard of Bandmade. If you guys will excuse me for a second, I gotta go talk to a man about a horse that pees or something. So, or something like that. But give me just a second. I'll be right back.
So that wasn't the shift key. If you like heavy rock, check these lassies out. Ladies, it's only 5 Japanese women who rock their asses off.
Well, I'm an '80s rock kid, so I think I irritate the heck out of some of my coworkers, because since I'm there and early in the morning by myself, I normally have the Bluetooth speaker going and have my Pandora on, and it's usually '80s metal or '80s rock. So, and then of course, I've got it cranked up all the way because, well, I'm there by myself. So, oh yeah.
Uh-oh, I just looked up Bandmade. They collab with The Warning, one of the bands I listen to sometimes. Very cool. Watch that vid first. Song is named Hate.
Hmm. I will do that. That collab is awesome. I will definitely have to check that out. I'm all about finding new bands or finding new music to add to my own YouTube playlist, and that way I got something to listen to. Man, the condensation on that bottle is awful chilly dripping down there on my leg.
Bass player Bandmade is the best I think.
I've ever seen. Very cool. Yeah, I'll definitely check them out.
I listen to a lot of different styles of music.
And I used to, I listened to everything from, my God, like I said, I grew up in the '70s and '80s. I went to high school in '83. Yeah, but I listened to everything from Kiss, Motley Crue, Wasp, Quiet Riot, all the way down to REO and Chicago and Air Supply, Firehouse, Night Ranger. So, and my dad got me hooked on country when we used to sit at the table in the morning before my sister and I went to school and dad went off to work. Um, so, Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, uh, Johnny Cash. Listen to that. Plus, and I love to drive the wife nuts with this one. I'll listen to classical music normally when I'm here at the house alone, or um, when she and I are together and she stops and goes into the gas station to get cigarettes or something. I'll turn the radio station on classical. Um, but yeah, I'm my only problem with having having multiple genres of music that I enjoy is I got to be in the mood for that type. I can't listen to 4 or 5 country songs and then have a metal song come on, or have REO Speedwagon come on, or something like that. A lot of times I'm in the mood for '80s rock. Sometimes I'm in the mood for classic country. Sometimes I'm not in the mood for anything but chamber music, classical music. So that's I can't mix and match. I listen to good music. There's a lack in good music the past decade or so. I can hate country. Hello from Arkansas. Loxba, good to see you. Welcome in this morning. Grew up with cool metalhead parents. My dad was born in 65. Dad was born 3 years before me. So he was exposed to a lot of different kinds of music, and his love for music rubbed off on me. There ain't enough beer to get me into country. See, I'm a big Travis Tritt and big Travis Tritt fan, huge Travis Tritt fan. Um, I've seen him perform live once, and it was absolutely amazing. As a matter of fact, I was down in the first row off the stage, and I was belting the songs out as he was. And he actually seen me down there and smiled and give me the thumbs up because I mean I was keeping up with him, and especially on songs like you know um, "Help Me Hold On" or "Best of Intentions" or "Trouble." Um, that was pretty cool. Uh, but yeah, your dad was born. I was born October of '68, so gives me an idea just how young you is. Grew up with cool metalhead parents. I like that, Lofska. I, 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 I try to be a cool metalhead parent. I was born in '61, David. I've lived it. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some fantastic country songs, but it ain't my thing at all. And to each their own. That's why I like individualism. I have an MP3 player with over 5,000 songs on it, all arranged by type, group, and artist. So when I want to listen to country, I can do that. When I want to listen to rock, I can do that too. I don't have an MP3 player. I just have my stations setting on Pandora. I've never owned an MP3 player, as a matter of fact. Go figure. I'm trying to find band-made MP3s to buy, but it is tough. Huh. I wonder why. I've played DJ at a few parties with it. There you go. I don't use MP3 player. I burn them to CD. Then to the Alpine in the Dakota. There you go. I'm not seen Sarah pop up in a while, Tony. I think we lost her. but it is Monday, so she's probably at school doing her teacher thing.
Best damn car stereo I've ever had.
I had a Pioneer that we installed in the '67 when I was young, and had some wonderful speakers. I mean, it thumped. When we played music during the parade, people heard nothing but the music we were playing in the parade. Even with the cherry bombs on it and all the other classic cars in the parade, they heard my music.
Um, well, she might have had to slap a kid. It's pretty easy to make MP3s out of MP4 videos. I have the technology to do it.
There you go.
I used to have a blow punk in the car.
Yeah, that little video or photo. I think it was a photo that you did on your community tab that showed your studio area, David. Uh, very very impressive. Um, that's why I was saying I think it'd be very cool to do a live stream thing live from the studio while you guys are either doing your cuts or going through your editing process to let people see how you do the quality of work that you do.
It was a great stereo in '79, but nothing compared to the Alpine.
I've always heard good things about Alpine, just could never afford one. And now, my God, now they make it so hard to put a custom stereo in a car. 'Cause I wanted to put something with a push button Bluetooth connection um, for, for the wife in her car. But the opening they have for this weird radio that's also part of um, the environmental controls, and it's all part of the um, HTM interface. It's just impossible. Um, it's HTM, human to machine interface, or human to whatever. But she has a plug in her center console. You lift it up, and there's a plug that you can plug in there and put like a little Bluetooth descrambler or whatever. And then she hook her phone up through that and play her own music on there. But driving down the road, 65 miles an hour, I don't want her taking her eyes off the bloody road to look in the center console to find out if she's got it plugged in right or how to hit the button, or it'd be so much easier for her to just voice command her phone to Bluetooth link to car stereo and play her music.
Um, I couldn't afford it either. 2 grand, but that included extras
Like the truck. And there you go. It's always those extras, man. Those are the things that make the deals worthwhile.
Honestly, that stereo was a surprise.
That's actually very cool. I mean, I've had the chance to listen, to some of the better off kids stereos when I was growing up, and I'd heard a couple Alpines. One of my friends had an Alpine in his Barracuda, and they were great. I remember back in the day, you had to own a Lamborghini to own an Alpine stereo because that's what came in the Lambo. But then they started, making them to sell, and wow,
I used an old pair of Altic Lansing speakers in my studio that are hooked up to a 4-channel mixer, an old pair of AWA speakers if I want to burn, if I want to turn things up a bit more. Hooked up to a 200-watt Sony stereo lead. Wow, very cool. My old Probe GT had a Bose.
Oh, that's nice.
It was good, but 100 watts, so not loud.
Yeah, and for some reason, I'll never figure it out. I guess I was just lucky when I had my Bronco, um, because no one ever rode in the back of it. We wired a router under the driver's seat and ran 6 stereo speakers in the back of the Bronco because I used to take it to the reservoir and stuff in Indiana, and we'd have the top off, the back end off of it, and we liked to thump music.
Alpine must be around 500 watts. I have both my laptops connected to the mixer.
I've been trying. You're talking about connecting your laptops to your mixer for your sound system and stuff, and I'm having a hard time just getting this laptop hooked to my TV because, well, on my old computer, I ran that type of plug. And on this new computer, it's a regular, um, like you would plug in for your charger that plugs into your outlet. Um, it's just a plain small rectangular um, port on here to transfer the video where I can actually see it, which is why I'm doing this because I'm dealing with, you know 1/16 of an inch tall letters and stuff here.
Um, it will go to max volume and not distort at all. There's a picture of my setup, my community tab somewhere. Well, I, I I think it don't distort it loud enough to make my eyes water. They do make adapters, I think. You could, you just have to know what the connections are called.
Yeah, I don't. Don't forget, I am a complete and total technotard. I don't even remember. I have a printer and a piece of equipment here to start making my own T-shirts and coffee mugs and stuff like that. I print out the iron-ons and stuff on the printer, and oh, the quick cut is what it's called, a quick cut, and it cuts them out so you're not dealing with full sheets and things like that. But it takes the old computer, the blue adapter thing that has the two little screws on it that connects a computer monitor to a regular computer, a desktop. And that's what the printer uses. So I can't even though I've sat and waited to start making my own merch for people. I can't even do that because this computer does not have the receiver for that type of plug. So I'm trying, but yeah, there's definitely adapters out there if you could just know what the hell. I think that one I showed you here was a HTML or something like that. I don't know what the big blue ones are. I have no idea what they're called. But I could run my mixer through the receiver, which has an optical connection to the TV. Well, that's cool. We just don't have the extra money to play with for me to um, go out and buy cables and stuff like that. So I do the best I can with what I got. One eye and a lot of squinting. That is very cool though. I can run my mixer through the receiver, which has an optical connection to the TV. I don't know. I'll have to look around and see if maybe I have that connector somewhere. Then I just got to worry about whether or not it's long enough to reach from the computer to the back of the 36-inch TV. Well, we're going to be better off with no more mortgage, but we'll have put off cabin stuff. But we have been putting off cabin stuff for 2 years. Yeah, it's going to be nice to have that extra whatever it was 640 or whatever it was that you said earlier. It's going to be nice to have that extra in the kitty, but then comes the getting things ready at the cabin, getting the inside and outside stuff um, going. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be extra in the kitty, but then you're going to be pulling out of the kitty to get everything done at the cabin that you want to get done. So you just never slow down, man. Just never slow down. Other laptop is hooked to the big screen. This laptop is connected to a TV. I can hook my laptop right to my TV if I wanted to. And that's what I did with my old one. I hooked it straight into the TV. That way, I never even looked at the screen on the old laptop didn't even work. It had so many cracks in it. It looked like shattered. It was shattered glass. But Yeah, can't do the same hookup here, so I got to find that new cable. Um, but we have about 20 grand to put to the cabin. There you go. There you go. Very cool. The one really nice thing about it is you'll be able to start spending more time down at the cabin because you'll have the freed up resources to get that place ready to move into. Well, as you know, not that much longer till the wife retires. My TV can stream YouTube videos through the Xfinity Flex box. Nice. That's what I normally do with the laptop when I'm working on a video or something like that. I'll have music or whatever videos playing over the computer. So, not to mention doing the streams, um, I see things. I can read things better. But my DVD players will stream. My TVs aren't smart. I really honestly don't understand why they call them smart TVs because they. I guess just because you got to be smart to run them. Um, we have a huge TV in the living room that was given to us, and it has a control on the bottom right hand side of it, and you got to push the center button, and then as it fires up, your left or right directionals, which understand it's just a circle. I mean, there is no really feeling different buttons, but there's actually a center button and four buttons around it. And left and right controls the volume up and down, and up and down controls the channels. And if you hold the center button too long, then you have a menu that pops up and you got to wait for it to, there's no remote for it. We've had three universal remotes in the house, and we have scanned the codes for that brand of TV, and none of the universal remotes will lock onto the TV codes. So yeah, we gave up on that. When you've spent $50 on universal remotes and none of them work, and then you just have to stick them in a drawer or give them to somebody else because they don't work for your TV. Yep. Smart TVs are able to interface with the internet. My TV is kind of smart, but the Flexbox will hook up to any kind of TV as long as it has the right input. Hey, Danny. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well today. Of course, it'd probably be easier to hook up this laptop to the TV if we had something other than like a Dollar General and a Family Dollar uh, here in town. Our nearest Walmart's 20, 25 miles away. And we never go to town unless we really need something. So for us, it's kind of goofy to spend gas money on a 50-mile round trip and then spend another $20 on a cable, um, if we don't have other things that we have to get on a trip. But then again, if we have other things we have to get on a trip, we don't have the money to spend $20 on a cable for a computer or something like that. Yeah, I seen where you sold the Ecto, man. Um, I'm glad she's got a new lease on life. I'm sad to see it go because, well, I got those. I still got those pictures, um, in my Google Photos, of me, with the Ecto, 2 years before I ever met you. When I seen it sitting there in Schoolcraft in the parking lot. So, yep. What is our cut? They ship to your door, oftentimes free. The remote is voice controlled, which is cool. I just tell it to go to YouTube or find movies, but haven't told it to go to hell yet, so don't know what it would do then. Pop up in a Johnny. I have a Honda Ridgeline truck. Wow. Now, I told you about that Cadillac sitting down the road that all I could see was, custom Ecto. Well, they've got rid of the Cadillac and now they've got an old white Lincoln sitting there, like I would say a 69 or a 70. And, once again, all I can see is, you know, extending a false roof all the way out to the end. So when you stick the key in to pop the trunk, the whole trunk and the roof lifts up on that back end right there, getting it all decked out with all the goodies and stuff. Um, yeah, the wife's starting to hate my imagination. I am going into that second childhood phase. I'm going more into like my fourth childhood phase, but we're not going to tell her that. Second childhood phase was when I was 40 and bought a, what, 83 Camaro Berlinetta. Because there's no station wagons around here. That's why my silly ass would not start with a station wagon. I've been looking for one. Even though I can't drive, I have people that drive me, but at least they'd be driving my car and not putting mileage and stuff on their own. All right, it is that time, guys. It is time for me to beat feet out of here. And Berlinetta translates into, I see you're letting that winter. Well, I've actually been after the wife to trim up the sides on this, um, and leaving the top long where I can spike it. But yeah, it's like pulling hen's teeth. Well, that was weird. My phone went leap leap, and then it said 3:01 a.m., then it said 9:45 a.m., then it said 10:02 a.m. Wow. But yep, I'm gonna beat feet out of here, start working on videos and stuff, trying to keep getting more and more done for the 31 days of Halloween, which will start on October 1st. So, you guys all have a good day. Have some fun. Don't forget to have fun. You need to have fun. And have a good week. And we will see you next Monday. Same fat time, same fat station. So, I will be that way soon. I'll be here, bud, at least on Mondays, and then anytime afternoon, every other day of the week. So, yes, I remember Bandmade. Gotcha. But, yep, you guys take care. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. I do. And we'll talk to y'all later. You guys have a good day.